It was extremely special, it was very strong. Our relationship was very strong and very serious and very real.
Anne Margret easily comes to mind whenever we talk about actors in Hollywood who left footsteps that are worth taking after. During her active years, she left quite a mark in the industry, which resonates with everyone who follows her story. However, there is hardly a story without its downside, and Anne's was no different. She faced some life-threatening challenges and battled some of her own habits. Her tale eventually became that of strength and unfailing resolve to stay at the top. Join us as we explore her life in detail. Anne Margret was born Anne Margret Olsen on April 28, 1941 in Valsjöben, Sweden, and had a rather challenging childhood. Early in her life, she moved with her parents from Sweden to the United States when she was 6 years old. This relocation would turn out to be a very critical turn of events in her life, leading to her future success in Hollywood. Carl Gustav Olsen, Anne's father, and Anna Regina Aronson, her mother, shifted to America for a better livelihood. They decided to settle in Illinois. Life wasn't easy as they faced many bad times while trying to adapt to the new culture. Regardless, Anne's parents brought her up, instilling two most important attributes of hard work and resilience from the beginning, which later defined her career. Raised in this simple abode, Anne gradually started building her career in the theater. From a young age, she possessed natural singing and dancing talents which kindled the dream of being a performer. Her parents allowed her to explore her talents and even sent her to a dance school. Anne's first exposure to the American way of life instilled in her the ambition to take up performing professionally. The attraction she felt towards the glamour and charm of Hollywood fascinated her enough to channel her career towards it. Her parents' relocation to America availed Anne the opportunities that might have been impossible to come by in Sweden, and also opened her eyes to a whole world of possibilities that would shape her aspirations. Anne's big break came in the early 1960s when comedian George Burns discovered her while she was performing in a Las Vegas revue. Burns was immediately smitten with her talent and charisma and invited her on his television show as his guest, and this was where her career took off. She soon signed with 20th Century Fox and started her screen career in the film Pocketful of Miracles by Frank Capra. Her role was small, but enough to make people take notice. Then in 1963, she shot to success with her role in Viva Las Vegas, where she starred alongside Elvis Presley. When Viva Las Vegas premiered, the main attraction wasn't Anne's brilliant acting and singing skills, but her chemistry with the famous Elvis Presley. As co-stars, it was easy to be free with each other and enjoy each other's company. Speculations about romantic involvement between the two began to sprout, which was made worse by their off-screen friendship. However, the rumor never transcended a close professional partnership, and their relationship never went beyond that. Anne and Elvis remained good friends, and she spoke fondly of him in interviews, describing him as a kind and generous co-star. In terms of historical importance and as a point where their careers merge, Viva Las Vegas stands out for both parties, as the film is continually recognized as a classic in Hollywood. With Viva Las Vegas, Anne Margret entered a succession of high-profile work that really introduced her to viewers as a versatile actress and performer. In Carnal Knowledge, under the direction of Mike Nichols, she gave such a strong performance that the Academy recognized her with a nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Quite different from the glamorous singing roles to which she had grown accustomed, it demonstrated her skill in handling intense, dramatic work. Anne continued to work steadily into the 1970s and 1980s, lending legendary performances to Ken Russell's 1975 rock musical Tommy, and taking on the role of the long-suffering love interest in 1993's Grumpy Old Men, starring Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. This led to her second Golden Globe Award and confirmed her status as one of the truly talented artists. Not content with film, Anne was a prolific recording artist and stage performer. In the 1960s, she released a number of albums such as And Here She Is, Anne Margret in 1961, and The Vivacious One in 1962. Her voice and energetic presence on stage won audience appeal. Her singing career was a good addition to her acting career, and she was liked because she was able to cross over to different mediums. Anne's live performances were equally impressive, headlining many shows in Las Vegas, where she was considered one of the town's most dazzling entertainers. Throughout her career, Anne Margret has remained a loved figure in Hollywood, who is admired for her talent, beauty, and resilience. Since her family moved to America when she was young, she made a decision to make it big in the entertainment world. From a small town in Sweden to bright Hollywood lights, Anne's story is dotted with hard work, talent, and an indefatigable spirit. However, Anne's story wasn't always filled with tales of success, as she encountered some challenges along the way. Behind all the glitz, she had a number of personal and professional challenges that put her spirit of survival and strength to the test. Along with many successes, Anne had to fight physical injuries, health battles, and personal problems with remarkable courage and determination. It is not only a story of stardom, rather, it is one of survival and resilience. One of the worst experiences that happened to Anne Margret in 1972 was while performing with a group of people in Lake Tahoe. She had been doing her usual energetic dance before tumbling off the platform onto the concrete floor. The bad fall gave her a fractured jaw, a broken cheekbone, and several facial lacerations. The injuries were so critical that for a time, the doctors weren't sure just how well she would recover. This was a blow both physically and emotionally to her career, which could have completely derailed her. However, Anne's recovery seemed to bring out the indomitable spirit in her. She had to undergo many surgeries and a long, painful rehabilitation process. She never gave up on returning to the screen and stage, and indeed she was seen again on screen and stage within 1 year. That spoke of how her resilience was as strong as her talent. It also proved that this accident tested not only her physical strength, but also her psychological strength, and she never let that accident define her. Apart from this accident, later in life, Anne faced a terrible health crisis when she was diagnosed with cancer. Back in the early 2000s, she let the world know that she was diagnosed with breast cancer. Anne fought on with the same grit that defined her career. She underwent surgery and treatment while continuing with her work. She was open about the diagnosis and her treatment, gaining much admiration while using her platform to raise awareness about breast cancer and the need for early detection. Anne's fight with cancer further portrayed her strength and willpower before the world, and her recuperation was a moment of happiness for her fans and co-actors. This challenge only ended up showing her courage, once again proving herself to be an inspiration. Anne Margret's struggles did not stop just with physical injuries and sickness. As is usually the case in the industry, personal issues were inevitable too, and the fight against alcohol addiction was also one of these. When at the peak of her career, Anne took to drinking as a means of coping with the stress that came with fame and professional pressure. In no time, this became an issue in her life and started taking its toll on her health and relationships. When she noticed that she was on a downward trajectory, Anne decided to confront the addiction. She finally sought help and checked herself into rehabilitation, working her head off to win against her addiction to alcohol. Though the path to being sober was not easy, it was quite significant in bringing stability to her life. Her openness to problems and readiness to commit herself to recovery spoke volumes about her character and turned her into an inspiration for many experiencing similar trials. While Anne was facing all these challenges, she had some hobbies and activities that helped her keep things in perspective. One of her best hobbies, which many might not know about, is her love for motorcycles. She is an avid biker, frequently hitting the open road on her Harley-Davidson. Riding was almost a form of therapy and a break from the stresses of Hollywood, giving her a world where she could experience freedom and adventure. Biking bound her to her husband, Roger Smith, another actor and motorcycle enthusiast. This means they enjoyed a love for riding together on the open road, and it became very special to the couple. In her own small way, Anne felt biking was much more than a hobby. Through biking, she felt empowered and happy whenever life threw its troubles her way. Another creative outlet where Anne finds peace and fulfillment is painting. She discovered her artistic talent a bit later in life, but soon she will be a very talented female painter. Her choice of colors and strokes told much about her being jolly and an artistic person. Her paintings help her to pour out all her feelings and experiences onto paper with the help of painting. Many times, Anne described the process of painting as a sort of meditation whereby she could bring clarity and peace into the turbulence in her life. Her works have been displayed in galleries and published in books. Anne's found love for painting and art in general is proof that maybe creativity may well be one powerful tool for healing and self-discovery. Anne's life and the graceful way she handled the challenges that came her way spoke to her fans and followers about the true nature of resilience and focus. From fighting cancer and a life-threatening fall to battling her addictions to alcohol, she showed immense strength in facing all adversities with equal grace. Motorbike riding and painting were some of the activities that interested her, provided meaning, and were a source of delight in loose-grip situations in life. Anne's story is one of overcoming adversities and one's ability to rise above struggles, which has turned her into a symbol of lasting perseverance and hope. Throughout her entire career, Margret was among the favorite personalities in Hollywood, not just for her huge talent, but because of the bravery and strength with which she faced all the difficulties life threw at her. Her story reminds us that even the brightest of stars face dark moments, and it's in facing those moments that we find what truly defines us. Anne's legacy is not one of mere fame and success, but one of strength, willpower, and the eternal might of the human spirit. It is a story of triumph, passion, and stardom, which took a girl with big dreams to become a Hollywood legend. Anne, from her time as a little girl from Sweden trying to make her way through Hollywood, turns out to be an exemplary character who inspires everyone as they face the numerous struggles in life. Beyond the struggles, however, she had a pretty stable marriage. Margret's marriage with Roger Smith was a union of love, commitment, and survival. Like her screen life, it was filled with brightness and success, with that deep attachment lasting through the years. The relationship between Anne and Roger was of mutual support and respect for one another against the host of challenges that would come their way. In the early 1960s, Anne met Roger Smith, an actor and former star of the series 77 Sunset Strip. Actually, they came across each other through a common friend at one of his parties. At the time, Roger was already a big name in Hollywood, but he was smitten by the charm, talent, and bubbly nature of Anne. Soon they were hitting it off. They found they had many things in common as they had shared taste in music, motorbikes, and arts. Their relationship blossomed, and on May 8, 1967, in a private marriage ceremony, the two finally got married. Right from the very beginning of their marriage, mutual respect and understanding had been present between them. Roger, being her husband and also her manager, was indispensable in molding Anne's career. He guided her through the tricks of Hollywood so that she didn't get overwhelmed. Their marriage seemed to be marked by a very strong sense of partnership. To Anne's explosive and energetic personality, Roger supplied the calm, which lent strength to a marriage that only continued to flourish in the intense spotlight. However, they would face some of those challenges that fame sometimes brings upon people, but they always pulled through, always supporting one another through thick and thin. Anne would also often address Roger as her rock and a steadfast foundation of stability. Their love was that silent love, kept away from headlines and drama, usually associated with celebrity marriages. Still, this quiet and romance-packed marriage also came across its set of tests. In the 1980s, Roger was diagnosed with an autoimmune chronic disorder known as myasthenia gravis due to the partial obstruction of acetylcholine with antibodies. It really took a great toll on Roger's health and seriously affected his quality of life. Anne stood by her husband in sickness and health, giving him the care and support he needed. She was actively involved in his caregiving by ensuring that Roger had everything necessary to cope with the disease. This was a manifestation of her deep love and devotion to her marriage, especially when her husband was going through such trying times. This couple was compelled to make many important changes in their lives, brought about by Roger's illness. She scaled back her professional life and plunged into taking care of Roger so that she would be able to live more of her life with him. This no doubt was a trying time, yet it brought them closer. Anne was indeed so strong and sensitive in handling this situation, along with the pressure of her personal and professional goals. They never stopped loving each other through all those trying times and truly cherished every moment they had together. As it were, Roger's condition kept on worsening as time moved on, and there came a phase when he needed constant care. Anne was there for him as always, in comfort and surrounded with love, through to the end. Roger Smith died on June 4, 2017, after 20 years of fighting myasthenia gravis. It was a big blow to Anne, who had been his partner for over 5 decades. Anne has spoken candidly about how Roger's death changed her life. She described him as her soulmate and the love of her life. Their long-lasting marriage is still a great inspiration for love, loyalty, and partnership in the world of show business, which is dominated by short-term relationships. Besides her personal life, Margret has also been highly involved in philanthropic causes, using her platform to go out and make a difference in the world. She has involved herself with several charitable works throughout her career, especially in the areas of health, education, and the arts. Anne has spoken loudly for awareness of cancer by using her case of breast cancer to support various organizations involved in research and patient care. She was publicly diagnosed and treated, inspiring a lot of people in the process, and has since used her platform to raise funds and awareness for all sorts of cancer-related causes. In addition to health advocacy, Anne has been a staunch supporter of the arts. She has donated time and resources to those organizations furthering arts education, believing in the transformative power of creativity. Anne's commitment to philanthropy also extends to animal welfare. She is an outspoken advocate for the humane treatment of animals. Her dedication to these causes reflects her compassionate nature and her desire to give back to the community. Anne's legacy in Hollywood was born not only out of a great career, but also from the respect and admiration received from her colleagues. She would be classified as a pioneer because she broke ground and created a path for performers to follow, and her art has been reinvented from time to time to keep pace with an ever-changing world. On screen and off, colleagues and admirers alike have found Anne an example of grace, resilience, and professionalism. That she has stayed relevant throughout Hollywood's ages speaks volumes to a commitment to craft and unbending excellence in all aspects. From a young immigrant with big dreams to a Hollywood legend, she has faced many challenges with courage and determination. Her long-lasting marriage with Roger Smith, filled with love and mutual support, stands as a testimony to the power of partnership. Their bond, amidst all the troubles that came along, remained unbreakable and stands as an inspiration for others. Her philanthropy, support of the arts, and advocacy for health-related issues solidify her legacy as a representative of compassion and influence. As Anne continues to inspire new generations of performers and fans alike, her story serves as a reminder of the importance of perseverance, love, and giving back. She is a living testimony to the indelible power of the human spirit. From screens to stages to philanthropy, Margret has truly left an undeniably personal stamp on this world and is proof that greatness lies not only within talent, but within character and compassion. That will be all for this video, and you can check out our other videos in the channel. See you in the next one.